Hi, thank you for watching Dig Into China. I'm Dong Xiong. If you have not done so already, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Henry Kissinger, the former U.S. Secretary of State, passed away on Wednesday, November 29th at his Connecticut residence, reaching the age of 100. Chinese internet users hold diverse views on Kissinger. Some commemorate him as the last old friend China had in the United States, while others condemn him for his initial concessions to the Chinese Communist Party, attributing to the establishment of the largest oppressive regime in human history. Kissinger is regarded as the most powerful U.S. Secretary of State post-World War II, playing a pivotal role in shaping American foreign policy and transforming the global geopolitical order. However, he remains a controversial figure, having received the Nobel Peace Prize but also facing criticism for alleged responsibility in overseas atrocities in Latin America and Southeast Asia, with some labeling him a war criminal. In the tribute posted on Kissinger's official websites on the day of his passing, there were a total of 11 references to China. Kissinger, a pivotal figure in the normalization of U.S.-China relations, had visited China over 100 times since 1971, stating that he had dedicated half of my life to working on U.S.-China relations. Despite a diminishing influence after retiring from politics, Kissinger remains actively embraced by the Chinese government and is portrayed as a prominent figure. During his last visit to China in July 2023, Kissinger received a prestigious reception from Xi Jinping, expressing his commitment to continue making efforts to foster mutual understanding between the people of the United States and China. On November 30th, Chinese President Xi Jinping extended his condolence to U.S. President Biden on the passing of Kissinger. Xi Jinping acknowledged that Dr. Kissinger is a globally acclaimed strategist and a long-standing friend of the Chinese people. He emphasized that Dr. Kissinger's legacy will forever be intertwined with China-U.S. relations, leaving an enduring impact on the hearts and minds of the Chinese people. Chinese state media has released commemorative articles with titles like "Farewell, Old Friend Kissinger" and "The American Who Understands China Best," expressing hopes for someone to carry on Kissinger's legacy in the United States. The articles showcase images of Kissinger smiling and shaking hands with Chinese Communist Party elders during his visits to renowned historical sites such as the Terracotta Army, 13 Tombs, Shaolin Temple, and Du Fu's thatched cottage. Additionally, there are photos capturing moments of him savoring Chinese cuisine with his family and engaging in friendly conversations with table tennis players and farmers from Henan province. The hashtag Kissinger passes away on the Chinese social media platform Weibo has gathered almost 600 million reads, temporarily taking the top spot in trending topics. Chinese netizens shared their feelings about his widely recognized historical figure, expressing sentiments such as "Kissinger, the Chinese people will always remember you. The only American respected by the Chinese people is Kissinger. And even my grandma knows him. She was born in 1912 and had bound feet." During Kissinger's era, U.S.-China relations shifted from breaking the ice to a honeymoon phase. However, the current trajectory indicates an increasing divergence in the overall relationship, with both parties now leaning towards competition without a complete rupture. Many online users express sentiments of nostalgia and melancholy over the departure of the panda hug faction in the United States, epitomized by Kissinger. "It feels like he was our last remaining old friend," with Sihanouk Arafat Castro and now Kissinger connecting China to the rest of the world. We hope the US will see the emergence of a second Kissinger. That would be a blessing for the people of both countries. The United States has its own strong idealism, and Kissinger is a realist, although the United States, since the Trump era, has labeled China as the #1 strategic competitor, completely overturning the U.S. China policy initiated by Kissinger and Nixon. Kissinger's ideas have been a guiding light on the new U.S. China path. Xi Jinping, the former chief editor of Global Times, lauded Henry Kissinger in a Weibo post on the 30th. He commended Kissinger for his role in sustaining collaboration with China and averting a new Cold War. Who admired the principle of the balance of power, derided those who view peaceful evolution in China as an antiquated American aspiration for Sino-US relations, and voiced opposition to resolving global issues through Western idealism. The United States holds its own fervent idealism, and Kissinger is a realist. Despite the US, since the Trump era, designated China as the primary strategic competitor, completely upending the US-China policy initiated by Kissinger and Nixon, Kissinger's ideology has stood as a guiding beacon on a new US-China trajectory, sometimes shining brightly and at other times flickering. However, certain nationalist opinion leaders cautioned the Chinese public not to be swayed by Kissinger's amicable image. They stressed his American and Jewish identity, asserting that in the end he prioritized the national interests of the United States. According to Weibo influencer Li Ye-Wu Wei, regardless of how many times Kissinger visited China, he was never a benefactor to China. He consistently acted in the interest of the United States. If one must speak of a benefactor, it is China that benefited Kissinger. It is precisely because he had a special mission during the unique historical period of China-US relations that Kissinger has been remembered by the Chinese people for decades. Some online users remarked he was a servant to the Rockefellers, ensuring his master's satisfaction for a rapid ascent. He embodied the intentions and the interests of the dominant American capitalist families. Acknowledging past favors, he is considered our old friend. What kind of Stockholm syndrome leads people to sympathize with American politicians? This is quite a selfish approach, where everything can be sacrificed for personal gain. A user on the Chinese social media platform Zhihu under the name Sheng Peng expressed the view that Henry Kissinger cannot be categorized as an appeaser, surrenderist, or someone favoring China. Instead, Kissinger is described as a pragmatic and shrewd veteran politician who opts for expedited measures that could lead to China's downfall. Sheng Peng draws a parallel to Kissinger's approach to the trisolarans in the three body problems, employing drastic methods to swiftly exterminate Earth's civilization. Kissinger is categorized as a cunning, treacherous, ruthless, eloquent yet deceptive, tactically flexible, resolute in will, and unflinching in lethal actions. When the situation demands compromise, this seasoned individual won't hesitate, and when decisive action is necessary, he won't show mercy. He embodies both strategic thinking and practical action. He skillfully facilitated the establishment of diplomatic ties between China and the United States for the benefit of the US, while also employing conspiracies to eliminate a significant number of socialist fighters and adversaries of the United States. In the digital realm beyond the Chinese Communist Party's censorship, diverse discussions about Kissinger's legacy are taking place. Zhou Fengsuo, a prominent figure from the 1989 Tiananmen Square protests and the executive director of Chinese Human Rights Watch, expressed on X platform on the 30th that Kissinger, the old trickster, has finally departed, but his ghost lingers. He wrote, "Examining the positive articles in English media reveals Kissinger's numerous followers. On the day of the June 4th massacre in 1989, during an ABC interview, Kissinger opposed any sanctions against the Chinese Communist Party. However, he did not disclose that he had already partnered with a state-owned enterprise CITIC Group to establish the company China Venture at that time. According to contemporary standard, should Kissinger be required to register as an agent of the CCP? Hu Liren, a Chinese entrepreneur living in exile in the United States, expressed on X platform that Kissinger steered American policies to forsake justice and morality in the name of supposed national interest, ultimately resulting in the widespread deterioration of contemporary global Western politics. Describing Kissinger as the spokesperson for the devil is an apt characterization. Kissinger has given rise to the most colossal devil in human history, bringing immense disasters to the world and countless future troubles. He is a historical wrongdoer and not deserving of commemoration, he stated. Ex-netizen Spicy Space at WTO518 crafted a fictional arbitrary for Kissinger in the Communist Party's version, claiming Kissinger, from May 27, 1923 to November 29, 2023, born in the Communist Party's field, was an experienced communist warrior, a steadfast Marxist, a significant figure in proletarian revolution, and a politician. He played a pivotal role in the communist liberation of the United States, contributed to the establishment of the Communist Province of the United States, and stood among the 10 elders of the Communist Province of the United States. As a crucial member of the central leadership collective spanning the first to fifth generations with Mao, Deng, Jiang, and Xi at the core, his children currently hold prominent positions in the Communist Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Chinese dissident Wei Jingsheng expressed on X, from the American standpoint, he played a role in dismantling the communist camp, ultimately leading to the breakdown of Sino-Soviet relations. However, from the Chinese perspective, he contributed to the revival of the Mao Zedong regime, reaping benefits from it and continuing to support the oppressive rule of the Chinese Communist Party to this day. Renowned Chinese journalist Gao Yu has announced Henry Kissinger, who lived to be 100, has passed away. He supported Russia for 3 decades and China for 5. During the 2022 Davos Forum, Kissinger proposed that Ukraine exchange land for peace. Zelensky countered. In 1938, when Mr. Kissinger's family escaped Nazi Germany, no one recommended adapting to the Nazis. In 1972, Henry Kissinger, guided by the principle of making concessions to the Chinese Communist Party as much as possible, engaged in negotiations with Zhou Enlai. The resulting Shanghai Communique acknowledged the One China principle, marking it as Kissinger's perceived original sin within U.S. political circles. The year 1979 saw the enactment of the Taiwan Relations Act by the U.S. Congress, signed into effect by the President, solidifying it as a fundamental element in U.S. diplomatic policy towards Taiwan. Prior to his 1994 passing, Nixon advocated for permanent political separation between China and Taiwan, showcasing political acumen. Despite Kissinger's frequent visits to China, surpassing 100, and his centenarian lifespan, Gao Yu's depiction underscores a sense of wariness and endurance in representing the lasting influence of the Chinese Communist Party on the United States. On the 29th, an article in China News Weekly cited the memories of former diplomat Lian Zhengbao. It disclosed that Premier Zhou Enlai, during the interpretation of the joint communique of the United States and China, specifically credited Henry Kissinger for the pivotal statement, "Taiwan is an integral part of China." Ishat Hassan Kobo, vice chairman of the executive committee of the World Uyghur Congress, revisited a past incident on the X platform, shedding light on Henry Kissinger's reservations about the Chinese government and his unclear stance on acts of genocide. Decades ago, a Uyghur individual in the United States attended a seminar on U.S.-China relations, with Dr. Kissinger as the main speaker. Following the lecture, the friend inquired about the Uyghur matter within the context of U.S.-China relations, but Kissinger responded vaguely, avoiding a direct answer. After the event, the friend approached Kissinger asking politely for a photo together. However, Dr. Kissinger declined, expressing concern that a photo with a Uyghur might be exploited for political purposes. The friend was deeply disappointed, highlighting Kissinger's apparent fear of upsetting the Chinese empire. Henry Kissinger, a figure admired by some, disliked by many, is a man with a plethora of controversies. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. Just click the subscribe button right here. I'll see you again shortly. Until then, be well.